Peace. Quick clip. Think fast. Last night was the 31st, but it was after the full moon. Basically, it was like on the 30th, but like in the morning. So basically, like 3, 4 in the morning. Coming into the 31st. Because at first I thought it was gonna be like late, or not late at night, but like at night on the 31st. But it's actually like early in the morning on the 31st. But anyway, yesterday, on the after effects of the full moon, decided to take a stem of mushroom. And let me tell you, excuse me. For one, like the energy was extremely, extremely intense. But before I get off of the note, one of the things I wanted to speak on, like I had a realization while tripping, and basically I was laying on the sand, was out on the beach, and I'm laying across the sand, and I'm just vibing, and then the little thought hit me like well, basically earlier that day we was talking about the Demiurge and how the gods like Zeus and all those guys kind of entrapped us. And basically they're like the first gods in essence to have an ego, and Tudo, how we was talking about also how some gods have this how can I say this toxifying vibration, where it almost leaves you feeling like drunken by their energy in essence. And also like addicted to their energy, but like it's one of them things where a lot of them can't really help it, like like it's not like they're trying to pull you in, it's just the format of the way their energy works. But again, I was laying on the sand and I had the visualizations of like I thought of like as above so below. I'm like, each little grain of sand is like a little galaxy. And as soon as I thought about that, I thought about like, and I'm laying on top of these galaxies, forcefully putting my energy on these galaxies, so to speak. So I'm like, here it is, I'm laying on the sand, and all these galaxies forcefully have to deal with my energy, and can't really do anything about it. And I thought about as above so below, just how we deal with some higher ups that's sitting in our galaxy or on our galaxy, you know what I'm saying, and we have no choice but to deal with that energy. And then also I caught the omens of like how I talk about the Demiurge was the first with the egos. I'm sitting there, and as I'm sitting down, basically, how did it come to me? I was sitting, and basically, I knew I was sitting on the galaxy. Cause then, all right, now I'm consciously laying on the galaxies. Then something told me like how you see, like how your ego. So basically, like as above, so below. If I was a guide to the sand, or like to the picture the sand grain, the sand is like galaxies. So if I'm a guide sitting on those galaxies, as above, so below, my ego involved as well, because here it is that I know I'm sitting on these galaxies with my energy, but I still didn't get up. You know what I'm saying? Like I was too comfortable in my ways to move and get up. So as above, so below. Some guys, occupied certain areas, whether it's by choice or it's just their time to rule, and not say rule, but to govern that certain area of the galaxy. Because also I had like a kind of like a vibe with Kali Ma at the beginning of it, where she was talking to me and like telling me about how things are gonna change. But all of a sudden I got spook of her energy, because too, what's going on is like a lot of politicking, as far as like you got the government throwing energies out there strongly because they know how tense the moon is. You got angelic beings coming down to contact us, and you even got demonic beings, moving around. So all through the trip too, it was extremely intense, feeling that energy. Matter of fact, I did a video about crystal quartz and selenite where I spoke on that a little bit too. Like it's like a portal run. Matter of fact, my brethren came up with that terminology, but it was like you could just feel like it was a free fall of like energies and deities and beings just jumping through portals and going through everything, trying to influence people, what I'm saying, on all levels. Like you could just feel it. But that was a pretty cool realization on the as above so below. Like here it is, I'm sitting on on the, you know, the sand, and it's like galaxies, but yet my ego or my feeling of like, oh, but I just still want to relax. You know, I'm still sitting on those galaxies, influencing them with my energy. But I also though caught the realization though, as above, so below. That's why, excuse me, I ate something with a little acidity to it. I ain't gonna say acidity, but it was some type of salad. It was a vegan salad dressing, but it must have something in it that ain't agreeing. But anyway, on the as above, so below aspect as well, you see why the Hawaiians, in many of the traditions, it said like where they, everywhere they go in the forest or wherever they do or wherever they step at, they like blessing the ground, like almost like praising the ground that they walk on, as just to say like, you know, I'm sorry, or thank you for letting me step on you, or like, you know, you break a twig, you know, like just giving thanks, you know, just but sending that energy. So that's what I did, you know, to the sand. I was like, you know, saying I'm sorry for sitting on y'all. Sorry, galaxies, you know, sorry for sitting on all y'all. I'm gonna send y'all nothing but love and, you know, divine vibration. But you see why, you know, people too treat smaller life forms the way they treat, like, you know, well, when you raise your vibration, you're no longer just, you know, killing insects recklessly and things of that nature, because you realize the hierarchy of you know, of life, you know, in essence, or of existence, as far as like, well, you know, you don't care about a smaller life form, and you show that vibration, then something higher show how they don't care about your life form and your existence. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just humans in existence. You know what I'm saying? There's something higher than you. So just like you think, oh, I'm the biggest, baddest thing in the universe, so I could smash an ant, I could smash a beetle, I could kill animals, and, you know, to hell with it. Ain't nobody gonna come down over me, because it's like, you don't get it. But to each his own with that idea, mind frame about the way you carry yourself with those things. To each his own. Everything is already in play. Everything is in divine order. So whatever. But definitely dealing with that energy of just like with taking the shrooms last night, man. I could just feel that intensity of that moon. Matter of fact, and everybody, you know, in essence flipping out, like it was just bringing out a lot of energies. Because matter of fact, I experienced it on the boardwalk on Venice, and, you know, it was just like just a lot of things going on. Matter of fact, I talk about a little bit in this video. I spoke a little bit in another video, but like how somebody, like how now is the time where you got to really be strong about the discernment of who you allow in your aura, who you allow in your auric field, I should say, because there's people that's gonna be trying to latch on to you, and in essence, like on some crab in the bucket stuff, where, you know, they latching on and they don't care if you drown. They trying to come up for air. Like they in panic mode, they're in fear mode. They're like, oh man, all this shit going down. This guy look like he's very spiritual. Let me go by him, man. I know it's gonna do. Nope. We had a situation again, like I said, another video where a brethren got into it with somebody. And I said got into it, but a dude threatened him on some stuff. And then after that, he comes and want to sit by me and my brethren on some stuff like, oh man, can I come sit by y'all, man? I just need some. It's like, nope. And you gotta be stern. Of course, I had the empathy to want to help that brethren, but we get into a place where things are getting real, and he was dealing with some type of energy that me and my brethren wasn't allowing in our energy field. So we told him, you know, you got to move around. You got to take that back with you, you know, because again, portals open. That portal of what he was dealing with could have opened right by us, and now we dealing with demons and, you know, possibly into some type of altercation or something. That's how these energies is working right now. So you got to be careful with that. But definitely was a cool realization, you know, just sitting there on the sand. Because again, like I tell everybody, man, this universe is so infinite, you know what I'm saying? Like you could go inside an atom and go inside something that's inside the atom inside of that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so infinite. So with that analogy to the grains of sand, you know, like being little galaxies is like, again, like, you know, forcefully like put my energy where I'm laying on them, and now they have to deal with my energy, you know. It wasn't no choice. Now you could say on some flip side thing where, you know, they probably attracted me and asked for me to lay in that area, you know, whatever the case may be. But you just see like those analogies, like, well, you know, like say for instance inside one of my cells, they got a whole comic book going on where the mitochondria is the superhero of the organelles, and he's doing this and that, but that's only one mitochondria in one cell. He got a bunch of other mitochondria that he worked with, like, just to put it in perspective, like, personify the things inside you, and you see how, like, we are like cells to something bigger, you know what I'm saying? So again, with that little analogy where I'm like, sitting on the sitting on the sand, and again, like, each little grain of sand, and picture how much grains of sand is on the beach. That kind of lets you know how expansive, and infinite the universe is. But again, the influence of the Demiurge, because that's another thing too why I caught that realization, because I was like, they say the Demiurge is the ones who got us, locked up and forcing that energy upon us and things of this nature. Here it go, on the flip side, and I'm sitting on the sand, and because of my ego saying I'm just not getting up, I want to be, I want to relax. Not say ego like that, but just because I'm like being inconsiderate in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just really feel like laying down, I'm holding my energy on those galaxies, you know what I'm saying? So those galaxies was forced to deal with universal frequencies energy, almost like how in the Vedic text dealing with the different ages, how you got the Kali Yuga is coming, or are we in Kali Yuga? But that's another thing too, like the Kali segment energy. But again, like in the Kali Yuga, like, however so often so every 24,000 or 25,000 years is like a little shift. And say, for instance, that shift could be for a different type of being to be over this area of the galaxy. And then in another, little 24,000 years, another being, governs in essence. And it's a, how can I say, it changes with the energy. It could be a being that's seen as malicious to some, or it could be a being that's seen as benevolent and, and magnanimous to some guy. It's a perception thing as well. But too, just getting back to where like some of the guys, even though, like, they have this toxifying, because that's why we brought up that, like, that toxifying vibration, because Kali Ma vibration kind of was like that, where, and two, it kind of spooked me for a second, and I was like, wait, not that, I tell people when I say spook, it's like that, how can I say, not really being scared, like, because I know better than to allow that much kind of, that fear into me. But it is, how can I say, the only reason why I'm studying is not, it's just trying to find the right way to explain it. Because it wasn't like, oh, I think Kali Ma is going to do me something. But it was like, wait, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a hold up a minute, instead of like, wait, like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of startled me on how strong the influence of the energy was. And then what also kind of startled me was like, I'm like, wait, hold on. Why am I so deep into this energy when I'm my own being? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I not connecting with the higher self of what I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I'm not? So that kind of hit my brain, and that's why I'm like, oh, And then too, though, going to show you, though, where logic and overthinking could mess up your psychedelic experiences, though, because you just gotta go with the flow and feel, you know what I'm saying? And also, I kind of caught that my logic kind of stepped in a moment and was like, wait, whoa, what's going on? Because that's the thing, Kali Ma is that raw of a primordial consciousness. She's that, ancient and just raw energy on a level where it could spook you because it's spooking your ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you look at Kali Ma pictures, a lot of people think she's something evil, but it's not evil. It's just quote unquote evil to your ego, But that's something to that was something that that I experienced on the trip as well. But again, it's like some guys' energy is, very toxifying, very not say toxifying, intoxicating. That whole time I wanted to say intoxicate. And you see, it was funny too. What's going on with me right now? Like, I'm actually like, to a certain extent, I shouldn't have. I ain't gonna say I shouldn't have did this video because I did pretty good. But like right now, I'm still like, there's a lot floating, in the downloads. So I'm about to go sit somewhere and sit with some hematite. Matter of fact, the Blackbird said, yeah. He's like, yeah, bro, hematite. See? I heard him. But yeah, man, definitely. And two, also with all this energy that's moving around, you definitely do want to ground yourself and stay protected, man. It's a portal run. It's things trying to grab people and recruiting, So definitely stay safe and which is funny. He made that funny noise like when I said that. But anyway, y'all stay safe, stay protected, and also stay grounded, because we're getting a lot of downloads. Matter of fact, don't forget to pay attention. Like, wake up in the morning as early as you can. Try to get a glimpse of that sun. Like, get a little sun gazing in, to get those downloads, because that's where the information coming. It's not about no thinking. It's not about reading and watching nothing, And of course, we're gonna get into that a little bit because we've been so used to being in a physical level, So we're gonna probably like read a little news article or something about what's going on, whatever. But all the information is in nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, the news is the sun in the morning. That's the news. Like, how you wake up in the morning and watch the news? The real news is waking up in the morning, going outside barefooted on the ground and taking a look at that sun. That's the news. That's the only news anchor you need to deal with right there. Figuratively and literally, a news anchor. You're anchoring yourself barefooted, looking at the sun. So, but that's basically it. I just want to share that little moment. That, and always bring up how that as above, so below aspect, man. It really breaks down the universe for you. So if you understand that, like, I'm like a little cell in a bigger body, and the cells in my body is a little smaller cells in a bigger body, and they got little organelles in it that's a part of its body, and it just keep going as a never-ending fractal, maintained by the golden ratio. Never-ending fractal. Golden ratio. And mostly too, the golden ratio though is more for how things work in our immediate universe, but there are different dimensions that have different layouts of like certain ratios to proportion the way things are shaped and made in their galaxies. Other dimensions may have something different from the actual golden mean ratio, so that's also something too to think about. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future, not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, y'all.